Sip Sudeep, Sip Girish, Sip Ashok Maheshwari, Sip Itkariji, Sip Raju, Sip Amitash, welcome back. Sip Sangamji, Sip Samatma, Sip Rajan, Sip Motkura Anand, Sip Kumar Swami, Sip Yogini, Sip Bliko, Sip Mrs. Mirchandani, Sip Paratiyama, Sip Pankaj, Sip Rajaratnam, Sip Sanmuga Swami, Sip Atmatray, Sagai Raj, Sip Eru, Sip Pundan, Sip Bliss, Sip Leena, Sip Ru Mataji, Sip Rekha Parwani, and sip all the sips who I cannot see, who have hidden their chehras. I can't see you. So, my dear friends, today is Friday, and I have the opportunity of speaking to you for 30 minutes on a topic called Viveka Chudamani. So today's topic is Viveka Chudamani. And in this topic of Viveka Chudamani, I am to explain to you what is the meaning. This topic of Viveka Chudamani means the jewel of the intellect. Viveka Chudamani means jewel of the intellect. It is a book written by Adi Shankara in the 8th century, this book. And you know the story that Adi Shankara was at 8 years old. He was a very intelligent boy. Some of us are not intelligent boys when we are 20 years old also. But then at 8 years old, Adi Shankara, he wanted to become a brahmachari. Means he wanted to leave the samsara and he wanted to follow the path of God. And his mother told him, no, you cannot do this. So Adi Shankara, he didn't know what to do. He prayed. One day he was swimming in the river. It's a real story, I believe. When he was swimming in the river, a crocodile caught his leg. When the crocodile caught him, he told, Ammi. Mother said, what happened? See, crocodile has caught me. Mother, my God, crocodile has caught his leg. Okay, you did not let me live as a brahmacharya. At least let me die as a brahmacharya. The mother said, okay, if he's going to die, let me give permission. Okay, you die. Some boys are very smart, you know that. So, okay, I permit you to be brahmacharya. The moment she told, I permit you to be brahmacharya, as if by divine magic, the crocodile opened its mouth and it let Adi Shankara escape. And then the story went on that through the promotion of Sanatana Dharma, which was actually not a religion, it is a faith, he spread a priceless wisdom. So, my dear friends, for those of you who are seeking enlightenment, all of you, I believe, are seeking enlightenment, you cannot achieve it without Viveka Chudamani. Viveka Chudamani means the jewel of the intellect. It is very important for you to be able to use this jewel of the intellect to discriminate. Remember, only human beings have Viveka Chudamani, this treasure of the intellect. Do animals have Viveka Chudamani? Can dogs and frogs realize the truth? Cannot. Can a bird be enlightened? A bird can fly in the sky, but a bird cannot be enlightened. Can animals discriminate or choose? Today I will have lunch dosa and tonight I will have dinner biryani. And is it possible for the animal to say today's biryani, tonight I will be biryani? No. So, so only human beings are able to discriminate, and the human beings are capable of enlightenment. Why is this so? What is the reason? Because the Creator has created certain levels of the soul. The soul evolves in the sense that even a small amoeba, small insect, there's a fly that lived for one day. How can that poor fly get enlightenment in one day? A butterfly lives for 14 days. Cannot. A dog lives for 10 years. A tree lives for 500 years, but still cannot. Because there is no buddhi. There is no intellect. Some of us, we have buddhi, but we don't use. That's a different matter. But the point is that we all have been given Viveka Chudamani exclusively to human beings to attain the state of liberation, the state of moksha, nirvana. My dear friends, while Viveka Chudamani is an iconic book by Adi Shankara, it's not easy to read it and understand it. Some of my dearest, like Ru Mataji and others, they went to read Viveka Chudamani and then they got confused. They said, "Ye kya kitab hai Viveka Chudamani? Hame kuch samajh mein nahi aaya." I cannot understand it. I think Rumataji read it in detail. I'm not sure who else read it. But it's very difficult to understand the Sanskrit slokas. So today we are trying to simplify it. What is the meaning of this Viveka Chudamani? And how you don't have to go through reading that book. And in this short call of 30 minutes, we will give you a sense of it. Because otherwise you will be lost. Bliss will be happy to note that in Viveka Chudamani, Adi Shankara talks about Neti Neti Tattvamasi. Adi Shankara talks about how to discriminate. Am I the body? No. Am I the mind? No. Am I the ego? No. But what am I? If I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the ego, I am. There's a difference between you and a soft toy. Recently, one lady was very intelligent. I was just somebody sent me one reel. I don't read reels normally, but in this reel they show this lady. She made a plastic replica of her because her husband used to trouble her a lot. So whenever she didn't want him to trouble her, she gave the plastic doll to the husband and said, "You can talk to this plastic doll," and she used to go away. No, I mean, the point is, we are not the body, we are not the mind, we are not the ego. We are the divine soul. In Viveka Chudamani, we learn how to reach that level of consciousness. Adi Shankara says through inquiry, self-inquiry, and transcending the mind. My dear friends, it's not easy to transcend the mind. It's quite a difficult challenge. But let me tell you, Adi Shankara explains. That's why Vivek means intellect. Chudamani means treasure. In Viveka Chudamani, he explains the secret of birth and death. How easily I made it, simplified it for you all. Who came first, me or my body? Even in Viveka Chudamani, it's not so simple. I have given it to you all in such simple words, because probably in 8th century, Adi Shankara, there were no scans available to show the body formation. Correct? When Adi Shankara was there, but today we have the benefit. We know how the embryo is. You can scan the embryo every week, over 40 weeks. You were born 40 weeks before your birthday. And one day when you die, people will say you passed away. I have given you such a simple method, which is explained in Viveka Chudamani, but it's very complicated. Am I this body? If any of you still believe you're the body, then you need to come and have lunch with me. Then I will talk to you and explain to you over 1 hour lunch break. How can you think you are a body? The body came later. One day the body will die. People will say you passed away. Who passed away? Who is that? Who is that I? This is the secret. Whether it is Ramana Maharishi who wrote the book AiR, same thing. He asked the question, who am I? My dear friends, in Viveka Chudamani, this is covered. He asked the question, what is the most important wealth of man? Is it money? Is it property? What is it? And then Adi Shankara says, it is the intellect. Remember the song, Adi Shankara's song, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Muramatai. Adi Shankara says, my fool, you must take up the spiritual path. Why don't you realize the truth about who you are? So this is what Viveka Chudamani. It is for Adi Shankara. He asks in his own words, are you supposed to live to earn, for others to burn what you earn? So recently I was writing a few songs, and the songs are on Viveka Chudamani. Bliss, I'm sorry, they are in Hindi. But some of the songs today I will share with you. One song says, सबसे बड़ी दौलत क्या है, पैसा तो नहीं है, विवेक है, विवेक इंसान का है खजाना, हर जीव को विवेक ना, इंसान को बुद्धि है, बुद्धि से इंसान कुछ भी चुन सकता, प्रभु को इंसान आसक्ता। 8वीं शताब्दी में आदि शंकरा विवेक चूड़ामणि का ज्ञान दिया। मन से जो भी जीवन जीता वो दुखी होके जीता मरता। विवेक से जीना, सच का एहसास करना, ये विवेक चूड़ामणि का ज्ञान है। विवेक से एहसास होना है, विवेक से प्रभु को हमें पाना है, मुक्त होके मोक्ष पाना है। तो the song says, सबसे बड़ी दौलत क्या है? What is the greatest wealth? पैसा तो नहीं है, it is not just money, विवेक है। The intellect is our true treasure. Don't get caught in any pleasure. So the point is that how do you discover Viveka Chudamani, the jewel of intellect? It is by destroying the mind and reaching the state of consciousness. There is no other way, because the mind destroys the intellect. The mind stops the intellect by stopping us from being in the state of consciousness. If you want Viveka Chudamani, the treasure of intellect, you need to have consciousness. And consciousness is thoughtlessness. How do you reach that state of thoughtlessness? This is what Adi Shankara speaks in the book. So my dear friends, what we are talking on Zoom every day for the last more than 1.5 years, Adi Shankara said this in the 8th century. It is not some new invention of AiR. You have to be able, the mind today in Pahalgam in Kashmir, I saw big monkeys. I just took a video of recording of one monkey. And the monkey mind, I see the monkey, he comes, in Pahalgam, the big, if you like to see big monkeys, you come here. And you want one more big monkey, look in the mirror. You will find two places you can find monkeys. One in the mirror, look like this in a monkey. Look at the mirror, you will see the big monkey in front of you. Because you and me are none other, we are like monkeys now. The mind, when I say you and me are monkeys, the mind is a monkey. And Pahalgam has got big monkeys, huge monkeys. So my dear friends, to get to this point of intellect, Viveka Chudamani, we have to kill the mind. Otherwise, the mind will be alive along with the ego. It will be born again and again. And we have to be able to overcome this. That's why I say, जो भी मन से जीवन जीता वो तो अंत में दुखी होता, मन के ख्यालों में वो डूबा जो विवेक से ना है जीता, मन बड़ा दुश्मन हमें ये सताता, मन को पहले हमें मारना, विवेक से हमें चुनना है, ख्यालों में ना डूबना है, विवेक ही चूड़ामणि है. Why is it that 99% of the world don't realize who am I? Why am I here? You know, because 99% of the world are blind. Not visually blind. Visually blind only 1%. Spiritually blind 99%. Because the buddhi, the intellect, viveka chudamani, they don't use. They don't know who am I. Who are you? Who am I? Oh, I am Mr. So-and-so. I am chairman. I am CEO. That is your designation. That is not, I'm an American. That is your nationality. No, I am a Christian. That is your religion. Who are you? Who are you? That only Viveka Chudamani. Only in Viveka Chudamani you can realize, which means the treasure of the intellect. Why am I here? Isn't it foolish, my dear friends? We We spend our whole life. What do? We cheat people. We hurt people. We steal to make money, only to leave it behind. Can there be any bigger idiot? Can there be any bigger idiot than a human being? He cheats everybody. He breaks people's hearts. He cheats, he steals, he robs to make money, which he will leave behind. He fights, he screams, he kills in the end because he doesn't realize everybody has to go. It's just a show. So this is Viveka Chudamani. Viveka Chudamani means use your intellect. Use your intellect. Don't use your mind. You know what the mind says sometimes? The mind sometimes will come and tell you, I am your friend. The mind tells, sometimes I give you wrong thoughts, but I am your friend, and we get fooled by the mind. The mind is our biggest enemy. The Viveka Chudamani, the treasure of the intellect, that is our biggest friend. But the mind fools us. And because the mind fools us, it attacks us with thoughts. It is more dangerous than AK-47. Because I believe AK-47, maybe it shoots bullets at 47 bullets per minute. I don't know. I'm not sure of that. But the mind shoots bullets at 50 thoughts per minute. The mind is shooting 50 thoughts a minute. We become a puppet. The mind is shooting 50 thoughts a minute and we become a puppet. And because we become a puppet, we are gone. So, my dear friends, what should we do? You must remember this. Don't be a slave of your thoughts. Remember this song, those of you who like bhajans. Jo vicharon ka gulam hai, wo vivek kho baithta. Vivek manavta ka hi adhikar hai, khazana wo kho deta. विवेक सबसे बड़ा खजाना. विवेक से मन संयम रखना, विचारों को धीमा करना, सही जीवन है जीना. It means don't be a slave of thoughts. Because if you are a slave of thoughts, my dear friends, you are gone. You are dead. Even before your body is dead, you are dead. Because your mind already killed you. Kill your mind before your mind kills you. When Dasi Budrani read that book, Kill Your Mind Before the Mind Kills You, about 10 years back, Dasi was laughing. Mind is a rascal. I remember Dasi saw the book about 8 years back. He was laughing. Mind is a rascal. Now Dasi understands. Jo jeevan khayalon se jeeta, wo sahi nirnay nahi leta. जो चित्त में रहता सच का एहसास करता, वो विवेक से निर्णय लेता. बुद्धि का उपयोग करना ये सबसे बड़ा खजाना, वरना संसार में डूब के मरना. ख्यालों का जो गुलाम बनता. If you become a slave of the mind, you are gone. You are dead forever. My dear friends, we have a choice. You can live by the mind or you can live by the intellect. If you are living and if all the time you are crying, no, that means your mind is in control of you. But if you have bliss and you are in peace and you are in consciousness, then your intellect is in control. What did Girish tell us yesterday? Girish told, mind is equal to man mithya dukha. And Girish told, Vivek, when the Vivek is there, Sat Chit Ananda. Yesterday, Girish reminded. And Vivek comes from consciousness. Today, Kavita in this call, that day Yogini made a commitment. She said, I will wear white, only white. Right? Handkerchief. Kavita in this call, morning she told me, I have decided. What you have decided? Kavita, with your permission, I'm sharing. So she decided, every hour she messages me, sip, 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 every hour. And from morning, she has not missed even 1 hour. See, WhatsApp will keep the track what time. No, many people, they try to cheat me. Or they tell me, no, I send the message 2 hours back. Don't cheat me, man. You may tell you send the message 2 hours back. But WhatsApp will show what time you send the message. So Kavita, she sends message every hour. Kavita sends the message. Ting tong, ting tong, ting tong, ting tong. This is about consciousness, my dear friends. How do we live in a state of consciousness? Very often, don't you feel that you're like a fool? You're lost in thought. You lose consciousness. Your intellect is. I sometimes I feel like this. Sometimes the day I was playing with one child. I was so busy with the mobile phone. The child was in front of me. I was so busy with the mobile phone, and I had a ball in my hand. The child told, throw, throw, throw. I threw the mobile phone. Instead of throwing the ball, I threw the mobile phone. Luckily, my mobile phone had that cover. It didn't break into pieces. But don't you notice sometimes you're eating banana. Instead of eating the banana and throwing the peel, you eat the peel and you throw the banana. And how many times you've done it like this? Or you're eating peanuts. When you're eating peanuts, some of you are favorite peanuts. You peel the peanut. Instead of putting the peanut in your mouth, the chilka, the skin you put in your mouth. Then you realize, oh, what am I doing? This is the job of the mind. And Viveka Chudamani tells us the mind is a rascal. Viveka Chudamani, don't think it's only I am telling. Viveka Chudamani says, beware of the mind. Beware. And what the mind tries to do, the mind tries to make us feel mind and intellect. Man and Vivek is one. No, Man and Vivek is not one. That's the fun. That's the fun. They are not one. So we have to realize they are different. Mind is a thought factory. It's producing thoughts. Vivek is a sword of discrimination. But the mind tries to confuse us. So we must remember, जो मन और विवेक को है एक समझता, अविद्या में जीता वो दुखी होता, मन के ख्यालों में है वो फंसता, विवेक का खजाना यूं ही व्यर्थ करता. विवेक चूड़ामणि है, सबसे बड़ा तोहफा है, विवेक से जो जीता मुक्ति पाता, मुक्त होता प्रभु को पाता. You must realize that Vivek is very important. One day, villagers, villagers always we think villagers are villagers. But this village, really villagers were villagers. They were going to kill one man. They were all going to kill one man. They are going to kill you with sticks and lathis and all that. Then that when Sarpanch came, tell you people have become mad or what? They've gone crazy. So then when the Sarpanch tried to explain to them, why these villagers were going to kill this man? Because one little child was walking and the child fell in a well. And the child fell in a well. So they want to kill the man. Why? Because that man built the well. And why did the man build the well? The man built the well because there was no water in the village. Now the parents of the child were foolish. They let the child go near the well. Although it was cordoned off, there was a wall. The parents of the child were careless. The child fell in the well. Now the villagers want to kill the man who made the well. How foolish. This is called what Ru Mataji always says. Don't choose by the heart. Use the head. Ru Mataji hamesha bolti hai. Correct. Use your Viveka Chudamani. Don't go by the mind. The mind can destroy you, my dear friends. When you use Viveka Chudamani, you realize you are the divine soul. Spark of unique life. You are SOUL. You realize that you overcome Maya. You realize it's just a show. And it is Viveka Chudamani that takes you on the journey of purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. Remember Pirlu. How do you get Pirlu? Through Viveka Chudamani. You first kill the mind. First kill the mind. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want a gun, I will give you. But the gun must you only to kill the mind. Or you come together, we will kill. You come to me. I am a specialist. Very often one of my good friends brings the mind to me very often. Then I perform the death ceremony. But unfortunately, my friend will come back again after a few days with the mind. Then I perform the death ceremony again. So this is the problem. The mind is like a phoenix. The mind will come back again and again. So we have to kill the mind again and again. And there is no Supreme Court ruling that you'll be given any death sentence for killing the mind. You can check. Killing the mind, you are not allowed to kill anybody else. Mind you can kill. Supreme Court will allow. Don't shoot somebody's head, but you kill your own mind. When you kill your mind, the Viveka Chudamani is free to appear. This is how you get the treasure. But unfortunately, because we are making the mind a master, we lose the greatest treasure of our life. The mind takes us towards pleasure, and we lose this treasure. The mind will take us towards pleasure. We use the treasure of Viveka Chudamani, and then you will not attain liberation. Remember, it's a choice. Viveka Chudamani means discrimination. It's a weapon to choose. You choose it or you lose it. It's your choice. What do you want? Sometimes we don't realize. We lose peace of mind. The intellect makes us realize peace, don't try to find. It is within. Just kill the mind. How do you kill the mind? With the Viveka. With the Viveka Chudamani. Do you remember? We found a few days back, we said flip over from mind to consciousness. How many of you remember this? To flip over from mind to consciousness, you must move from thought to thoughtlessness, confusion to conclusion, from sad to glad, from moving from God is on your lip to God is sip, moving from junk to monk, from knowledge to enlightenment, from perspiration to liberation, from swinging to yesterday gone, tomorrow not yet born, to singing in Ananda. Switch from rebirth to freedom from returning to earth. Flip from bhoga to yoga. My dear friends, how do you do it? How are you able? Through the intellect. There is only one way. You know what the intellect does? Intellect is like a sword. The Viveka is like a sword. It will chop the mind. It will kill the thoughts. And when it kills the thoughts, you know what happens? You get consciousness. And you get consciousness. In this consciousness, the intellect is revealed. The last song for today, I hope, or there's one more. Viveka jo khazana चित में ये है छुपा कैसे ढूंढे मन को हमें शांत करना है मन को मारना फिर चित में विवेक मिलता है मन गर जिंदा विवेक मर जाता मन गर ना हो तो विवेक जाग जाता. You understand? If the mind is alive, the Vivek is dead. If the Vivek is alive, the mind is dead. So this is the biggest secret. The biggest secret of Viveka Chudamani, my dear friends, here it is. If the mind is alive, the intellect will be dead. If the intellect is alive, the mind is dead. And the key to Viveka Chudamani is consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. If you have consciousness, then the Vivek, the intellect, will come alive. Some people, they don't use their intelligence. They are like fools. They blame God, they blame luck because of their not using the buddhi. Every normal being is given an intellect. But we have to use the buddhi. And if you don't use the buddhi, you know what you become? Huh? Rekha Parwani, you know what you become if you don't use the buddhi? जो बुद्धि से नहीं पर जो मन से काम करते लोग उन्हें बुद्धू कहते हैं. Sometimes one person got very angry. Hey, buddhu, I told. Why are you calling buddhu? Why are you calling me buddhu? I said because you are using mind. So you become buddhu. सही और गलत का जो भेद भाव ना करते लोग उन्हें बुद्धू कहते हैं. हर इंसान को प्रभु ने विवेक दिया है जो भी करना विवेक से हमें करना है अविद्या में जो जीता लोग उन्हें बुद्धू कहते हैं. Bliss, what's buddhu in French? You must tell us. If I meet some French person, I can tell you're buddhi or buddhu. Huh? So we have to understand what is buddhu and what is buddhi. My dear friends, if you didn't know it, Viveka Chudamani means the intellect is our greatest treasure. It's not just anything ordinary. The intellect is more important than all the millions and the billions of money you might have. Don't waste it. Otherwise, your life will be gone. Today, after I finish talking now, you tell me how much you live by intellect, how much you live by mind. You tell me. And you ask me how to find this treasure. Okay? So let me close. The closure is this. Our ultimate goal is liberation, moksha. Adi Shankara says the way to moksha is Viveka Chudamani. Discover your treasure of the intellect. Don't worry about the complicated book. I am simplifying it for you. What I'm speaking today is from Viveka Chudamani. Flip from mind to consciousness. You know, every time I read Viveka Chudamani for 4 hours, I will pick one sentence from it. I must have spent 40 sessions reading the book. You are sure to go mad if you try to read it. Please try, but it's not easy to understand. I will guide you to flip from mind to consciousness. I'm starting a new book from 1st of August. It is flipping from mind to consciousness, flipping from NEP to PEP. How? Living by the intellect and being liberated. I can promise you one thing, you will be happy all the time. Next Friday, we will be talking about God realization. SIP, soul, and Posimo. Next Friday, we will talk of realize the truth about God. Who is God? God is SIP. God is the soul. God is Posimo. So this is the topic of next Friday. But administrator, let us now get to question and answers. Thank you for your patient listening. We will have the Ask A session. Let us have some question and answers. Yes, please. I believe Rohit, start.
Shivam Guruji. So how to be in consciousness using intellect? Yeah.
How to be? It's very simple. In Kerala, this is Zimble. Very simple. Huh? How it is simple? You have to be thoughtless. You have to reduce the mental thought rate from 50 thoughts a minute to 40 to 30 to 20 to 10, and then you only have one thought. When you are in that state of contemplation, when your concentration is on one thought, that is consciousness. Normally, the mind is bombarding us. Ting, tong, ting, tong, ting. The mind bombards us. We lose consciousness. So, Rohit, let me give you an example, Rohit. So one man was in consciousness. So then I asked him after some time, well, how did you lose consciousness? No, he said, my wife, she passed by when I was in consciousness. I said, so? Then my wife passed by and she looked at my mobile phone when I was sitting in consciousness. I said, so then what happened? Then I started thinking, what did my wife see in my mobile phone? Then I thought she might have read some messages. Then I thought if she sees the messages, then she may go and commit suicide. Then I thought if she commits suicide, then what will I do when the police comes? Then if the police takes me to jail, then how will I attain enlightenment in the jail? So he went on telling me how the thought moved from one thought to another thought to another thought to another thought to another thought. Because you lose consciousness. You all know it. I don't have to explain to you. Do I have to explain to you how your mind moves from thought to thought? You all know it. Stop the monkey mind. Stop the monkey mind from going from thought to thought. And if you can stop that, if you can learn to be focused, then you are in consciousness. Yogini.
So, Guruji, but is there a way we can be in a thoughtless? What is a technique to be in the thoughtless state?
So, first of all, stop the mind from ever yelling and ever yearning. The word monkey, I'm giving you strategy. When the mind is constantly saying, I want this, I want this, I want this, the mind is constantly thinking. Rohit, if you're eating, you finish eating 2 chapatis and there are 2 chapatis in your plate and you want to stop eating. You can stop or you can't stop.
I can stop.
Rohit, you can stop. If you're walking and you finish walking 1 hour, you're tired, you want to stop walking, you can stop or you cannot stop.
I can stop walking.
Just like you can stop eating and you can stop walking and you can stop talking, you can stop thinking. Because thinking is in your hand. But you don't realize that thinking is in your hand. You think that thinking is not in your hand. Who makes you think this? Your mind. How does the mind make you think this? By bombarding you with thoughts. Watch the mind. When the thought is coming to you, Rohit, if you want to know practically how to do it, watch. Just keep watching the thought. You stop today and you try after this call is over. Just watch the mind. One thought, another thought, another thought, another thought. Because you are different from the mind. The moment you start watching the mind will slow down. The other way is to practice silence. The other way is to repeat a mantra. The other way is to be engrossed in a session like this or some engaging session where the mind is not distracted. So you have to find a way. There are many ways, Rohit. I'm only giving you a few. But it's possible.
You. Yeah.
Thank you. Yogini and then Bliko.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yogini.
Sir.
Sure,
Yeah.
Yogini.
Sir, duty, lust, and shame. How do we use the jewel in this area, in these areas?
By using the intellect, you have to discriminate what is my biggest duty. Suppose your mind tells you, oh, my daughter, she's going to college, but she needs to study to get knowledge. So I must sit with my daughter and I should make paratha for her and I should make dahi and give my daughter paratha and dahi. And that is your intellect telling you to sit with your college going daughter, correct? But your intellect tells you what is your biggest duty. Your college going daughter can make a sandwich and eat. So don't sit from morning to night only taking care of your daughter. So what happens? Duties, they suck us. So I told you yesterday, the duty must be done. But the duty should not take away the priority. The priority has to be clear. Having the priority clear, if your intellect is in place, you will keep your priority clear. For example, you come on Monday night for bhajan, right? If somebody tells you Monday night don't attend bhajan, will you go for movie and you will miss bhajan on Monday night?
No.
Why? Why you come every Monday to the temple? Why do you come?
Because that is my priority.
It's your priority. If somebody tells you I'll give you free ticket for movie also, will you go? Free ticket. Will you go?
No.
No, you will not go. Because you have made it a priority. Now comes the point. Who made it a priority? Mind or intellect?
The intellect.
Intellect. The intellect makes the priority for duty. The intellect makes the priority for lust. Now, for example, suppose somebody offered me champagne. I may not have. But when I was in Finland, another lady came and she offered me champagne. I took. Because the lady knew I don't take alcohol. She gave me non-alcoholic champagne. So it was amazing. I think what flavor? It was apple flavor or such an amazing non-alcoholic champagne. I loved it. No alcohol. I used my intellect. It came from a champagne bottle. It came from a beautiful champagne bottle. Huh? And from that beautiful bottle, it was non-alcoholic. So lust means using your discrimination power to decide what is lust and what is not lust. And shame. For example, somebody is saying something about you. Many people in this world, they are so worried about what people say about them. No, why should you be worried about what people say about you? Why should you let shame? So this is what the intellect will discriminate. Because my Guruji always said, they will say, let them say. They will say, let them say. Suppose I'm asking you, somebody starts laughing at you. Ha ha ha. You're wearing white handkerchief in your hand. Ha 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 ha. Then you'll feel ashamed. You're wearing white handkerchief. Suppose tomorrow you're going for a big party. That's a big test for you. You're wearing a silk sari, but you're still wearing the white handkerchief. Somebody asks you, kya hua? So either you can say, this is my spiritual handkerchief. Or you can say, nahi, thoda haath mein dard hai. I have some pain, so I put handkerchief because I'm wearing I have a hand. That's up to you. But you don't have to feel ashamed. and you don't feel ashamed by using your intellect. So I give you all three examples. The example of duty, lust, and shame. In all the cases, you must use your intellect, then they will not destroy you. Otherwise, you will sink in duty, you will drown in lust, and you will fail in shame. You must not. Bliko.
Thank you.
Shivam,
Shivam, Bliko.
after listening, I got one idea before I ask question.
Yes.
I got one sentence for that. What log kya kahenge, right? Why?
हाँ.
How the people will say. So it is like सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग.
सबसे बड़ा रोग.
रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग.
सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. Good. Aru does Hindi code, so she will copy it and use it. Good. Now, what's your question?
Okay. So my question is, like we are talking about thought and mind, right? Similarly, desire and thought is also interlinked, right? Because if you have desire, thought is going to come inevitably.
My dear,
Hmm.
desire comes from thought.
Yeah.
Not thought comes from desire.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So where does desire come from? A person who's in consciousness will not have any desire. A person who's in consciousness will be with thoughtless. When you are those thought, then there's no desire. So what
No,
is,
but I'm-
continue. I was interrupting your question.
But I am asking in a general sense.
Yeah.
Like people has desire for
No,
good
you are
food,
right. When the
another food.
desires also, when desire is there, the desire will create thoughts. Okay, continue.
Create thought.
Continue from there.
Yeah. So when you control desire or eliminate desire from your mind or from your lifestyle also, if my lifestyle is to do all sort of fashions and this and that, like ladies has all the hobby to get up to date every day. So if that desire is there, then you will definitely attracted towards the other beautiful lady and how she dress and how she look and how she put his bindi and all sort of small details, right?
Of
So
course.
that desire will always drag you towards the thoughts, and see, it is very hard to control that because that desire is already inbuilt in the mind. So how to get rid of inbuilt desires? Means engrossed desires.
So where do desires come from? Do you know where do desires come from? Desire
come from the
desire comes from feeling.
feeling.
You agree?
Agree.
A desire comes from, suppose I'm saying you have a desire to eat gulab jamun. Where does the desire to eat gulab jamun come from? Because you have a feeling. You have a feeling to eat. Where did the feeling come from? The feeling came from a thought. So get to the root, Bliko. You are trying to eliminate desire so that you can eliminate thought. But in fact, the moment you eliminate thought, then you eliminate desire. Because the desire will create multiple thoughts. What you're saying is correct. The desire will again create multiple thoughts. But how to cut the desire? Tell me, give me an idea. Can you tell me how to cut the desire? Is it easy? One lady, she has a desire. She always runs. She runs, for example, into a saloon. She has a desire to run to a saloon. Now, the desire to run to the saloon, how to cut it? Today's session may help that lady, Viveka Chudamani. So she has to say, who am I? Every day I'm going to saloon. Every 2 days I'm going to saloon. You know, today one of the biggest business in the world is saloon business. You know, men, they earn money and women spend it in the saloon. How much money the women spend in the saloon is not a joke. Correct? I hope you understand. You know that, right? So the point is that Viveka Chudamani, there are people who are spiritual, they never go to a saloon. They say there's no need to go to saloon. No, I'm not saying we should not go to the saloon at all. But I'm also saying there's no need to go to the saloon every day. So you go to the salon when you need to really have a wash of your hair or cut your hair. Yeah, but you do it. But imagine the hairstylist comes to your house, Blico, every day for styling your hair. Then what is the point? What is that? Then there is no Viveka Chudamani. Okay. So cutting desire, just to remind Blico, cutting desire is making the monkey into a monk. Also Rohit asked how to do it. Monkey. Cut the monkey's tail. Let the monk remain. EY. Ever yelling. Ever yearning. Cut the mind. The rascal mind, the monkey mind is the one who is ever yelling. Constantly the noise in the head. Constantly in the noise. You can't hear the divine voice because of the noise. And so if you cut the monkey's tail, there'll be no noise, no yelling. And if you cut the monkey's tail, there'll be no yearning. So what are the two whys, Blico? Two whys, we have to be careful. I'm not saying wives. I'm not saying two wives. I'm saying two whys. Why and why? Yelling and yearning.
Yearning.
Two
Yelling
big
and
problems in life. Okay, next question, please.
Shivoham, sir.
Shubham Sawadhu.
I want to share something.
Yes.
What I have made up my mind. Really, I was very dependent on my watch. Like I feel handicapped without my watch. Every half an hour or so, I have to look at the time. So from yesterday after the class, I have removed my watch and I've kept it. So each time I see my hand is empty, I know I have to come back to consciousness.
Amazing. Amazing. Lovely. I am proud of you. Look at the commitment. Look at the commitment on Samatma. My dear friends, is it a joke? I gave up wearing a watch long back, Samatma, for your information. I had so many watches. I had many watches, but I gave up all the watches. The point is, Samatma says, I have a habit of looking at the watch every half an hour, every 15 minutes, every 1 hour. Now, the moment she looks at the watch, it tells her, come back to consciousness. Come back to consciousness. There's no watch. There is no watch. Excellent. See, I am proud of all of you who are making commitments and growing on this journey. My job is very simple, that you should start teaching me. You should be so enlightened that you should teach me. That's my job. Correct? Not only I have to share my enlightenment with you, you should start teaching me some enlightenment. So that is the goal, that everybody must realize they are the soul. That is the goal, for you all to realize I am the soul. And then all these are very good tips. Thank you, Samatma. Very good. Vivek and Blico. Vivek,
शिवम यार
bolo
शिवम
Shivam.
हाँ सर जी मैंने आपसे दो बातें सीखी और मैं ब्लिको जी को और रोहित जी को बताना चाहूंगा जो आपने नहीं बताई। रोहित जी ने पूछा था कि हम अपने थॉट्स को कैसे कंट्रोल करें, तो उसके लिए आपने एक बार पहले आंसर दिया था कि साइलेंस की प्रैक्टिस करनी है बाय प्रैक्टिसिंग साइलेंस। और ब्लिको जी को आपने ये जवाब नहीं दिया जो कि आपने एक बार पहले दिया था कि रिपीटेड थॉट्स created repeated feelings, repeated thoughts created feelings, and repeated feelings creates desire, and repeated desires creates action, karma. So we have to control our thoughts, and it is मतलब ये by practicing silence.
Correct. बिल्कुल सही.
हाँ
So
जी
the only problem, लोग बोलते हैं कि silence कैसे practice करें. That is the problem. People are so used to not being silent that अगर 5 minutes लोग silent, 5 minutes people sit in silence and people start thinking we are wasting our time. 1 hour if people sit in silence. Once I asked my Guruji, Rohit, you may like this, Rohit, and even Vivek, aap bhi note karo. Once I asked my Guruji, you are telling me sit in silence 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, what a waste of time. So my Guruji thought for 2 minutes. Then he told me, okay, you go to your house today and you go to your office tomorrow and you dismiss all the security guards. I told him, why? Why should I dismiss all the security guards? Because they are wasting time. They're sitting in silence. From morning to night, they are doing nothing. I said, but they are not doing nothing. They are sitting in silence and they are watching. My Guruji said, what are they watching? I said, they are watching for the thief. He said, but where is the thief? There is no thief. They are watching, the thief should not come. He said, you also be in silence to watch the thief. you also be in silence to watch the thief. The thief is the mind. When
हाँ
you
जी,
sit in silence, you watch the thief. My Guruji taught me this. The mind, when the mind comes, the mind is the chore. The mind
हाँ
is the
जी,
thief. Sit in silence. Don't think that you're doing a useless job. When you sit in silence, you watch the biggest thief, the mind. So
हाँ
please
जी,
learn, all of you who think sitting in silence is a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. Sitting in silence is the most important. Bliko,
Yeah, the Samatma remind me one incident for my experience also. I was doing my hair dye because it started growing gray. So it is not because of only my wish, but my wife also liked that, you should color the hair. And I don't know whether 6 months before, like after this call, one day I thought, why to color, whom to show it? And then I convinced my wife that I'm not going to color it. Don't remind me also. Let the things be as it is, as natural. And now I realize today that that white color is good for me to remind me that I have to remember my goal, not to do the color and make it black and make my mind appear.
Bliko, interestingly, you know why people make it black? You know why people make it black?
To look young and to hide their age.
To look young, because they want to fool themselves of believing that they will be here forever.
Correct, true.
But the white hair should remind you, right? The white hair should remind you that the white hair tells you that your time is running out.
Time is running out. Yeah, yeah.
So white hair is a good reminder. Okay, we have few more minutes to answer the question on your commitment, your using the Vivek, your moving forward in this journey. Administrator, if there are any important questions typed, you can read out, Administrator. But otherwise, let us continue with questions live. I have Atmatray coming up. Yes, Atmatray.
हाँ sir. Sir, I think the spiritual journey is from Jivoham to Shivoham.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Jivoham to Shivoham. So what else? What more to that, Atmatray?
Okay, sir. My question is, I want to clear what is difference between Jiv and Jivatma.
The difference between Jiv and Jivatma is the word Atma. The difference between Jiv and Jiv Atma, if you say Jiv
Yeah.
Atma, from the Jiv Atma, if you remove the Atma, you will have Jiva.
Okay.
And the Jiva will soon become dead without the Atma. The Jiva can only be alive with the Atma. The moment the Atma leaves the Jiva will be there, but it will be dead on the bed. It will be dead on the bed.
Okay.
But as soon as the Atma is there, then the Jiva is alive. So the difference is only the Atma.
Now people say Jiv means the prana, and the prana is I think immortal.
My dear Atmatray, how can Jiva be prana? What is prana, Atmatray? You explain to me now. Come on, you're such an intelligent person. You explain to me what is prana.
Prana, which goes out of body when we die.
Okay, you tell me who's causing the prana.
Here,
Who's
I think
causing,
breath is prana.
who's causing the prana?
breath.
Huh? Brain. I could not hear you, Atmatray. Can you hear me? You can. Atmatray, who's causing the prana?
Atma.
See, the Atma is, hold on. So if the Atma is out of the body, can the body still have prana?
No.
No. But the Atma is in the body, but the prana needs the lungs and the heart and the whole jiva to function for the prana to be created.
Yes.
The Atma is only the power supply. So when people say the jiva has the prana, if you remove the atma, do you believe that without the atma, the jiva can have prana?
No.
So you use Viveka Chudamani. Whenever somebody tells something, whenever somebody tells something, you discriminate. You don't believe. Even when I tell you something, don't believe. That's why we have ask care every day. Why we have ask care every day? Every day you question me, but you don't question. I am waiting for you to question me. I tell something, you blindly believe. You must tell, no, I don't agree with you. Nobody's arguing with me. I'm finding very funny.
Yes.
Why nobody's arguing with me? I don't understand that. I want some of you to argue. No, I don't believe what you say. What you're saying is a lie. What you're saying is bluff. I don't agree. I don't believe. Come on, I want some of you to question. I want some of you to challenge what I say.
We believe because we have the experience after listening to you. Life has changed a lot. Like we have realized so much. And the most important thing we have realized, we are not the body, mind, and ego. So there's no point contradicting any statement of yours.
No, but you must contradict. You must question. Every day I come with something new, right? Every day I give you a new thought, a new idea, a new concept. Every day.
I agree. We should question you. Yes. And one more thing.
Yeah.
Like we are so foolish, we let so many nonsense thoughts bombard us, and we lose our Viveka Chudamani because those thoughts don't even have any value. We have thoughts of fear, future, which may not be there also. So, like your teachings has taught us all this. So
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes, and we are following this.
You know, this is a very simple thing. For example, what you're saying, the problems are all caused by the mind. Girish, I'll come to you next. The problems are all caused by the mind, and you all know it. But you all still let the mind continue to be your captain. What can I do? Many of you suffer the mind. Many of you, many. Why many of you suffer because of the mind? Although you know it is the mind, you are not able to control it. The mind is bombarding you with thoughts, but you're not able to kill the mind. You're not able to shoot it down because you're not sharpening the Viveka Chudamani. You're not sharpening the sword of the intellect.
Correct.
Keep the intellect up like this. When the mind thought comes, cut. When the mind comes, you think the mind doesn't come to me?
Yes,
you think the mind doesn't come and disturb me? Of course it comes. But I live with discrimination. Viveka Chudamani. That's why today's session is so important.
When that thought comes to you, when the mind thought comes to you, what do you do immediately?
When the mind thought comes to me, first of all, I have made the mind into a monk. So the mind comes to me with slow thoughts. One thought comes. When the thought comes into my consciousness, I tell, Ajav, come on. Then come on, my thought, sit down here. I want to listen. I want to talk to you, Mr. Thought. Come on, sit down here. I make the thought sit here, and then I tell the thought, you are right or you are wrong. I discriminate. If it is right, I do it. If it is wrong, I kill it.
Yes.
But the problem with you is you don't have the time of making your thought sit in your palm. You have one thought and second thought and third thought and fourth thought. Oh, my son is not come. Because my son is not come, maybe he had an accident. If he had an accident, then where has he gone? If he has gone to a hospital and there's nobody, then who will take care of him in the hospital? Then what happens if nobody is there? You go on thinking, and you lose your peace of mind.
Yes.
Stop the mind. Stop the mind. The way I do it, I tell the mind, stop it, stupid. Stop it, stupid. And the mind comes and says, stop it, stupid. I tell, look at myself in the mirror. Say, stop it, you fool. Stop it, stupid.
Yes, we have to.
How often you tell yourself, stop it, stupid?
I tell myself often. I tell.
Very often.
Yes.
You should tell so often that you stop telling, because the stupidity should come to an end.
Yes. I will.
Girish. Girish and Atmatra. Yes, Girish.
How the willpower grows and becomes strong on a particular aspect as we go on using intellect.
You're telling me or you're asking me?
No, asking you.
You have given the answer already, but let me just put it's the best question of the day. It's the best question of the day. Girish says, how can I strengthen my willpower? By using the power of the intellect. So here is the answer. How many of you go to gym? How many of you go to gym? Gym, you go gym or no? Weights, all that. How many of you go? Anybody? Hey, nobody goes to gym or what?
I do
I do
go
at home.
every day.
Who goes? Please speak.
I
Who
have
goes?
gone.
Please. Who goes?
Dasi goes.
Dasi,
every
what
day.
do you do? Dasi in the gym. What are you trying to build?
I do cycling, I do treadmill, and I do a little bit of weightlifting.
See, Dasi Budrani. Dasi Budrani, whether he's in London or Dubai, he goes for cycling and treadmill and weightlifting. So Girish, Dasi Budrani is going there to build the muscle of his body. You have to build the muscle of your will. And you have to build the muscle of your will by going to the gym. Not the gym where Dasi goes. You have to go to the Viveka Chudamani gym. You have to go to the intellectual gym. And by you constantly using the power of discriminate, 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 you are building the willpower. You are building the muscle. You are building the muscle of the intellect. With all due respect to Dasi, Girish, if I build strong muscles in the body, but I have a weak muscle in the intellect, then what is the use?
No use.
Dasi said what?
Chudamani.
Who gave the answer?
Vivek
No
becomes,
use.
You gave the answer, Dasi.
Vivek
Yes.
becomes Chudamani only when it is used, not kept inside the box.
No. Viveka Chudamani means you have got Viveka, intellect, Chudamani, treasure. Suppose Dasi is going to gym. It's good. I'm not telling Dasi don't go to gym. You please go to gym. But if you're going 1 hour to gym for building your muscle of treadmill and cycle and weightlifting, you give half time to go to intellectual gym. And what is intellectual gym? For example, what is AiR? What is AiR? AiR is an intellectual gym. But most of you are coming to this intellectual gym and you're watching. Now you are not picking any weights in this AiR session. You are coming to the intellectual gym and you are just listening. It's like Dasi going to the gym in London and watching people doing treadmill and watching people lifting weights. By watching people lifting weights, will Dasi build any muscle?
Not at all.
No, you come here, you question, you ask, you discriminate, you question, you
But
fight, you argue with me.
But Ravi, you can only question if you're wrong. If we are right, then I should pick it up and put in my understanding.
So Dasi, can I tell you something? You are listening to so many other spiritual leaders and we are talking different languages. Then don't you think I'm wrong? Because they are talking different, I'm talking different. Then you should question me.
No. The question is you are speaking the facts. So the question is there's no question to ask.
Okay. Thank you for your with all humility, I will take it in the right spirit. But I want to see Dasi. But when some other spiritual leader is telling you something which is contradictory to this, then you should come and ask. You should question. You should put that belief without giving the name of the leader. You should put that belief here.
If it is contradiction, yes, but it's not so.
Okay. So if there's no contradiction, then it's fine. Sometimes there is a contradiction. Then we need to discriminate. Is this right? Ye sach, ya wo sach.
Correct.
Do you know that famous story? Since there's nobody there, let me ask you. Let me tell you this famous story of Raja Janak. Raja Janak once got up from his sleep and he started shouting, "Bachao, bachao, bachao, bachao." The Rani said, "Kya hua?" Then the Rani, the queen, realized he had got up from a nightmare. The king got up, Raja Janak got up from a nightmare where he was a beggar and they were killing him. They were going to kill him. But the queen made him understand, "Hey Raja, my dear king, that was a dream." You know what Raja Janak said? He asked the Rani, he asked the queen, "Oh my beloved, am I a king who had a dream that I was a beggar? Or am I a beggar who's having a dream that I am a king?" Then Ashtavakra came to the kingdom because Raja Janak, anybody coming to meet Raja Janak, he will only ask the question, "Ye sach ya wo sach?" Is this true or that true? This true or that true? Am I king dreaming as a beggar, or am I beggar dreaming as a king? Ashtavakra came and told him, "Na ye sach, na wo sach." Neither are you a king dreaming you are a beggar, nor are you a beggar dreaming you are a king. You are the divine soul. You are the Atma.
Right.
So, my dear friends, I saw somebody's hand going up. Anybody before we close? Because today is a long session. I will not keep you all for more than 8:40. Anybody have any last question?
Till the time we get into consciousness state from mind state, what is to be used to silence the mind?
Come again. Please come again. Your first word I missed.
Till the time mind is completely silenced and we get into consciousness and intellect then comes alive in consciousness, what is to be used to silence the mind?
Beautiful. This is the question of a seeker. Now, Girish, the situation of the mind to be completely still and the consciousness to come alive will never happen. It will never happen. You have to flip over into consciousness even while the mind is still producing thoughts. And in that consciousness, when the mind has gone from 50 thoughts a minute to 40 to 30 to 20 to 10 to 5, it is in that consciousness that you will further reduce the thoughts. You will watch it, you will catch it, you will latch it. But you need to be in the consciousness to do that. Don't wait. If you wait for the mind to become completely still, and then you will jump to state of consciousness, it won't happen in this lifetime. Got it? You got the answer? Be in consciousness even now. Even when the mind is agitatedly and sending you hundreds of thoughts every day, doesn't matter. You be in consciousness. And the answer is, how do you be in consciousness, Girish? By watching the mind. You keep on watching it. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. That means you're already in consciousness. Consciousness does not mean that your mind should be completely still. Consciousness means that you should be in a state of observing the mind. And then the mind will become still.
So even if the thoughts come, let it come swimming, we will catch it.
But you should watch the thought. The moment you watch the thought, you're in consciousness. The moment the thought is watching you, if the thought is driving you,
We
then
are
the
in
mind
state.
is in control. When you're watching the thought, watch the thought. Watch the thought. Watch the thought. Watch. Keep on watching. That is consciousness. That is awakenedness. So with that note, 1 hour has passed. With folded hands, I bow down to you, and we will see you tomorrow at 8.